for joining us here on Streaming at 5:30. I'm Christine Pedowanich. We begin with a big story in D.C. today. Top Democrats on the House Oversight Committee are renewing calls for President Trump to testify in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. This as former President Bill Clinton was deposed today behind closed doors. Both Bill and Hillary Clinton have repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and have not been accused of any crimes related to Epstein. During a brief recess this afternoon, Democratic lawmakers told reporters former President Clinton is answering all questions.
We appreciate the former president being here today, and we would like to see the current president come before us as well and give the same kind of transparency that President Clinton has given us today.
Republicans pushed back, saying the survivors they've spoken with have not implicated the president in anything. Today, new video has emerged in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Ring camera video obtained by Fox News Digital shows a car driving down a street roughly 2.5 miles or 7 minutes from her home. This was around 2:30 a.m., the night Nancy was taken from her house in Arizona almost a month ago now. 2:30 is around the time authorities say Guthrie's pacemaker last synced with her phone. The Sheriff's Department says they're aware of the video, but have not commented on whether it's useful to their investigation. And closer to home, an update today out of Vancouver. Former Kaministwashugal Fire Battalion Chief Kevin West will spend the next 25 years in prison for killing his wife. Today, West addressed the judge and the courtroom, apologizing for the affair he was having at the time he killed his wife, Marcy West, but still not admitting to taking responsibility for killing her. West's son and daughter also spoke in court. Ted West asked the judge to be lenient in sentencing his father, while Megan West was disappointed the 25-year sentence wasn't longer.
I'm glad he's being locked away, but I don't think he's being locked away for a long enough time. I believe he should be there for the rest of his life.
She said she is still mourning her mother's death, but is ready to move on with the next chapter of her life now that the sentencing is over. Developing this evening, parents from Gig Harbor in Washington are suing a popular social media platform they say is responsible for their teen son's suicide. A warning, details from this story are hard to hear. The parents accuse Discord, an instant messaging and video chat platform, of enabling a violent online group to coerce their son into taking his own life. Court documents say the 13-year-old, Jay Taylor, met a girl on Discord connected with an online group called 764, who convinced him to enter a suicide pact. That same day, Jay live-streamed his death near a grocery store. The lawsuit claims Discord failed to dismantle 764 when they knew it was dangerous.
The message to Discord is that you really, really screwed up. You had no business marketing a social media product to children without appropriate content moderation. Discord has as much blood on its hands as the 764 member who was involved in coercing the suicide.
In a statement, Discord said disrupting the 764 network has, quote, been among its highest priorities. The company continued, saying it has highly skilled teams who work relentlessly to combat these violent actors. Now, if you or someone you know is in crisis, know that help is always available. You can call or text the number on your screen, that is 988, or you can chat at 988lifeline.org. Back in Oregon, 3 Gresham teenagers have been arrested on attempted murder charges for a shooting in Northeast Portland and also leading police on a chase. Around 11 p.m. Wednesday, police say they chased a car leaving the scene of a shooting on Northeast Rocky Butte Road. After running red lights, officers say they stopped it at 148th and Halsey. The 17-year-old driver, a 16-year-old passenger with a warrant, and 18-year-old D'Angelo Smart-Lowett were arrested, and 3 guns were seized. No victims were found at the shooting scene, but one man took himself to the hospital and is expected to survive. Now to some truly terrifying moments for one Tacoma family. Their home was riddled with bullets in the middle of the night, and their Ring camera captured it all. Stephen Taylor says his daughter was asleep in a front bedroom when nearly 50 shots exploded around 4 a.m. She ended up with 5 wounds, while the house and even some pictures inside were left with holes.
I was just worried about my daughter's life. They shot right through us. It's like, how does that even happen? It's just symbolic. I almost want to hang this on the wall someday to remind us of what we're living through.
Yeah, so scary. Thankfully, his daughter's injuries turned out to be minor. Taylor does not believe their home would have been targeted. So far, no one has been arrested. Downtown Portland has some new small businesses thanks to a Portland Clean and Safe program. Bring Treats for Dogs Barkery and Madame Cooper's Parlor have both signed leases at PDX Pop-Ups locations that initially opened during the holiday season. PDX Pop-Ups covers 6 weeks of rent for a business to occupy in unused storefronts. The Barkery is on Southwest 9th and is an expansion of the namesake dog treat food truck. Madame Cooper's Parlor is a cocktail bar and burlesque show in Ankeny Alley.
The pop-up program is so unique because, you have a free opportunity to see what it would be like to have a brick and mortar.
I knew as soon as she placed me in this spot that I was going to fight like the devil to keep it.
PDX Pop-Up is working to expand its traditional holiday model to one that's more year-round, so more businesses get the opportunity to occupy unused storefronts. Foodies, listen up because a Rose City favorite is back after 5 years. Portland Dining Month kicks off next week for the month of March. I got to take a closer look at the event, highlighting the city's famous food scene.
Yeah, so we are making mussel escabeche pasta with a little bit of crab butter.
Here at Pal's on Hayden Island, fresh seafood and fabulous views are always on the menu.
We get fantastic oysters from Hama Hama, and then we smoke them over oak, and that goes into our chowder.
We specialize in sustainable seafood, natural wine, great cocktails, but really what we're trying to do is have a fun environment that's by the water, a little bit easier to access, and super family friendly.
Pal's is one of the many restaurants participating in Portland Dining Month, back after a hiatus that started during the pandemic in 2020.
It's going to go for the entire month of March, and we have over 100 participating restaurants in the Portland area. They are each doing a 3-course meal for either $35 or $55, and some of them are doing both. Shauna Noah O'Connor, executive director of Portland Dining Month, says March is historically the slowest month of the year for restaurants. So we need to come out and help them get through these tough months.
There's so many great restaurants down here in downtown.
Huber's Cafe, known as Portland's oldest restaurant,
We're looking at 116 years at this location.
Is also participating in Portland Dining Month.
We're known for turkey, but we have other things that we like.
Other things that are equally as tasty that'll be on the Portland Dining Month menu, from fettuccine alfredo to limoncello tiramisu.
We hope people feel welcome. However their day was going before, they know that they're going to feel great by the time they're walking out of here.
Back at Pal's, staff are ready to welcome diners.
And we're really excited to sort of gather all these restaurants as a community and say to the folks that are in the suburbs or in Washington or a little bit further out, hey, come on back into Portland. It's really, really fun. The food is great. The drinks are great. We still punch above our weight as a city. And we're doing it at a price point that makes it really value driven.
Portland is a destination food city. We are doing such innovative and incredible things in the culinary world, and we're giving them an opportunity for the month of March to come out and experience that international award-winning level of dining for $35. In Portland, Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
Yeah, we are definitely a foodie city, aren't we? Well, if you want to check out the list of all the restaurants participating in Portland Dining Month, just go to pdxdiningmonth.com. Okay, coming up, Oregon's health experts reporting a positive trend in STI rates across the state, but why they say it's still too soon to celebrate. Plus, meeting patients where they are on a cultural level. The new mental health care center focusing on Latino patients. Matt?
Thank you, Christine. Another spectacular sunset underway from our Vancouver camera. The Springs with the waterfront. Maybe not quite as colorful as last night. We don't have as many clouds. Hopefully it'll be this clear 24 hours from now, because if it is, we'll have a chance to see the planetary parade. We'll talk about our chances coming up after the break. It's not looking all that great, but we should have a great weekend.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Welcome back. We've got a national health alert to tell you about. The U.S. has surpassed 1,100 measles cases in just the first 2 months of this year. The CDC says it's 6 times higher than what's typical for an entire year. More than 80% of cases are among children and teens, and 96% of those cases are people who are unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated. Last year, 3 unvaccinated people died from the measles. Doctors stress the measles vaccine is safe, effective, and the best form of protection. And speaking of which, Oregon health officials are warning of another measles exposure, this time in Clackamas County. The Oregon Health Authority says people may have been exposed to measles if they were in the emergency department waiting room at Providence Willamette Falls Medical Center in Oregon City on Wednesday. The time of the exposure is there on your screen, between 10 p.m. and just after midnight Wednesday. OHA says you should contact your doctor if you think you've been exposed. And new data from the Oregon Health Authority shows some sexually transmitted infections may finally be trending in the right direction. But health officials say it's still too soon to celebrate. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has more on what's driving the decline.
Health officials say declines in STIs rarely come down due to just one single factor. They say it's likely the result of multiple prevention efforts working together across the state. Now, according to OHA, gonorrhea and chlamydia cases have declined in recent years after peaking earlier this decade. Chlamydia remains the most common STI in Oregon, with more than 13,000 cases reported in 2024, down from nearly 19,000 in 2019. At the same time, long-term trends still show concern, especially with syphilis, which rose sharply over the past several years before beginning to stabilize. Health leaders say it highlights progress and the need for continued vigilance, like medical tools aimed at stopping infections before they spread.
We suspect that sustained prevention efforts from local public health, increased clinical engagement from providers across the state, and possibly changes in testing patterns are likely contributors to these declines.
OHA officials tell me they're going to continue monitoring this data to determine whether the decline that they are seeing is sustained or not. And they also stress that testing, early treatment, and prevention efforts are still critical in reversing long-term trends when it comes to STIs. Back to you.
Corey Johnson reporting there. A local nonprofit is expanding mental health care options for the Latino community in Portland. Latino Network held a grand opening yesterday for its new mental health care center. It is located inside the Center for Social Justice building in downtown Portland. The nonprofit says until now they did not have a culturally specific mental health service in the city.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in addressing cultural taboos, the stigma behind receiving mental health services, and it's a really needed thing in our community right now. And having it culturally specific creates a space for our families to feel welcome, to feel seen.
As of right now, the service is only available to Latino Network participants, but they hope to expand their offerings soon. Okay, so important to have those offerings, especially for your mental health. What helps me with my mental health? Getting outside and the sunshine.
Let's help your mental health right now.
Yes,
by
please.
Showing you this shot of the setting sun.
Oh, wow, just like yesterday.
Yes, sort of.
Sort of. You know what? Yesterday was a little bit more vibrant.
More
for
spectacular
sure.
because we had more clouds. So look, the sun is just now going behind the West Hills there. Just a beautiful look there. And you know what next week brings? It brings, and it's special next week because we get 6 p.m. sunsets, but only for a week.
What?
Yeah. Because then we go to daylight saving time. It'll be
Oh,
7
you're
p.m.
totally
sunsets
right. Yep.
after that. So the day's getting longer by the day, as they do this time of the year. 54 degrees right now. Our camera at the Springs of the waterfront. And again, this is the last little bit of that spectacular sunset last night that Christine and I were talking about. And I put the planets over the top of it because this will roughly be the alignment that happens last night. The problem is, I think we'll have more clouds tomorrow night than we did last night. But if it's clear, near the full moon, or not quite full moon, about 90% full, Jupiter will be visible. Saturn, Venus, and Mercury, Neptune, and Uranus, much harder to see because they're small and far away. You need binoculars for those two, but the rest of them will be visible. So take a look to the southwest and west about an hour after sunset, and hopefully the clouds will part. 56 was our high today in Portland, 56 in McMinnville, made 70 in Brookings, 60 at North Bend, 62 in the Dalles, and Bend was 64. Amazing, right? Tomorrow, we'll start out with some sunshine. Should be, like today, another really great sunrise. So if you're up early at around 6:30, Christine, get the camera ready, as if. Get the camera. I won't either. At least I hope not. But nonetheless, get the camera ready if you are an early riser because it should be a good sunrise with the high clouds coming up from the south. Little fog, little frost, then partly sunny and eventually mostly cloudy, but still warm up to about 55. So here's why it turns mostly cloudy, and here's why our chances of seeing that planetary alignment are not great. You can see a lot of cloud cover to the south and west right here, right? All spinning around this area of low pressure, which is going to begin to move into the west coast. Now, if it stays far enough south, like closer to San Francisco than to Brookings and Bandon, then we got a shot of having a clear sky. But I think those clouds are more than likely going to be spreading over us, and the modeling agrees with that, with the rain showers pressing north too. Although I'm not quite sure they make it to Portland. There's a chance they do as we go into Sunday morning, but I think the weekend is generally dry. And then Monday it clears out. Tuesday, another weather system comes in, and that will bring the return of valley rain and mountain snow and more winter-like conditions. So even though it feels like spring today, and it will this weekend, Mother Nature is not going to give up on winter just yet, such as it is. It's been a pretty mild winter here on the West Coast. But this system coming our way next weekend would promise some decent mountain snowfall and cooler temperatures. We'll wait and see if that comes to pass. Our forecast for the snowfall over the next 10 days or so is good if it holds. We'll have to wait and see if we end up getting that much. Meanwhile, looking out over Portland right now, there's Mount St. Helens off in the distance. We can see all 5 volcanic peaks that are visible from Portland today with the clear sky. It is 54 and the freezing level, super high, 10,000 feet. If you go to the beach this weekend, enjoy. It'll be pleasant. Partly sunny north, mostly cloudy south, and then showers if you get south of, say, Yachats and Florence, then you have a better chance of sprinkles down there. In the valleys, mostly cloudy with showers down around Eugene. High at 50 in Salem, but 54 in McMinnville. Up in the Cascades, partly sunny and mild, and we will be mild in Portland as well. Clear tonight, but then becoming partly sunny tomorrow as those clouds come up from the south. Still going for 60 on Sunday as the clouds begin to back away. Monday, 61, and then temperatures begin to drop as we get the rain coming in Tuesday night and Wednesday and Thursday. But, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy that sunshine that we get this weekend.
I know. Way to put me in a better mood. I was already excited for the weekend, and then I see all that sunshine. Gets even better.
Always happy to help out a coworker.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, coming up next, looking back to prepare for what's ahead. How scientists continue to learn from the Nisqually earthquake after it rocked the Northwest 25 years ago. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Tomorrow marks 25 years since the Nisqually earthquake. While some people will look back on the Northwest's most powerful quake since the 1960s, scientists and emergency officials are thinking about the future. Jim Nelson in Seattle shows us how experts are constantly evaluating our preparedness for another quake.
How quickly calm can be disrupted. A rattling reminder.
Kind of a mess, isn't it? Yeah.
Centered 35 miles deep, about 11 miles northwest of Olympia, the Nisqually quake shook the region on the morning of February 28, 2001. 400 people were injured. Nobody was killed by falling debris, but one person died of a heart attack. The damage was in the billions. King 5 Olympia Bureau Chief Drew Mickelson worked in Portland at the time.
The earthquake shook my apartment some 100 miles south of here. It was a big deal. They sent us up here. We quickly could see the damage on the Capitol. There was a column that had been cracked because the dome had rotated. I interviewed legislators who were holding chunks of the ceiling that had fallen. They ended up doing a lot of seismic upgrades that took years to complete here in Olympia.
And here in Seattle, those things are always top of mind. How to plan, how to respond, and how to make sure we have the infrastructure to handle something potentially more powerful than the Nisqually quake.
I wasn't here at that time.
Now, Harold Tobin is a UW professor and the director of the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network.
Time kind of fades from memory, but we know a similar earthquake will happen again.
He was a panelist in Seattle Thursday to talk about the progress and urge everyone to be ready.
We've done a lot in our city to make ourselves a little bit more resilient to earthquake damage and fix up some of the old buildings. We still have a really long way to go, and that needs to happen, before it happens again.
That could save lives.
They can be scary, right? People know that they're going to come pretty much without warning. So my attitude is prepare, don't despair. We're most likely going to come through them. What we want to do is come through them uninjured and ready to get on with life. That's the most important thing.
In Seattle, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Well, before we go, it is the end of an era in Corvallis. After 12 seasons, the school is parting ways with head coach Wayne Tinkle at the end of this season. According to the Oregonian, it is a $3 million buyout. In a statement from athletic director Scott Barnes, he said it's time for the program to transition to its next chapter, focused on sustained success in a rapidly evolving landscape. A national search begins immediately. Well, stay with us because we have another full hour of news coming up in just 2 minutes. In the meantime, let's check out this view from our Wells Fargo Skycam. A gorgeous, clear night out there. Your top stories straight ahead.